Who's ready for a rant video? Because that's what I'm doing today. I'm basically gonna go through the entire timeline of what I've had to experience with Jonathan Kuminga in the last 6 months of his life, the Warriors' lifespan, and the things that I've had to consistently listen to for the last 6 months. Because to be completely honest, it has been one of the biggest headaches I think has been in the league in a very long time. So I'm just going to touch on it basically from start to finish for everyone who's not familiar. Basically give you the full rundown. So everything from all the way at the start to everything all the way at the back. Oh, by the way, I'm using a new camera. I got a new camera. So if it looks better, if it looks worse, I'm sort of trialing this camera. It's got a bit more light behind it, which is really nice. It just seems like it's focusing and adjusting a whole lot. So at times it like glows up and then it glows down. So I don't know what's going on with it, but it's a work in progress. So I apologize if you guys don't get around the lighting too much, but it's a work in progress. I'm going to work it out, see what, the system goes with it. How it works best and anything like that. Anyway, back to basketball for anyone who's interested. Jonathan Kuminga. So right at the start, this all happened towards the end of the regular season because Jimmy Butler obviously came onto the team. And when Jimmy Butler came onto the team, the small forward spot for the Golden State Warriors basically went to Jimmy Butler first. And then what happens after that basically just develops as it is. It got to a point where Kuminga barely played any minutes. Towards the end of the regular season, Kuminga was barely even getting game time. He was coming on during scrap time. He was, making half appearances for all of 2 minutes for, last stop of the quarter, defensive stops, because Jonathan Kuminga relatively is a really good defender. So we are going to sub him in those moments. It got to that. And then come playoff time, it hurt us even more because Jonathan Kuminga did not see the floor. In the entire first round against the Houston Rockets, Jonathan Kuminga did not get a second of action. Until I think it was game 3. It was the game after Jimmy Butler went out for that game. Jonathan Kuminga actually got minutes. Looked alright in those minutes, but that was for that, he got into his head and he knew he played well and everybody knew that he played well, basically. And from the point of Jimmy Butler comes back and he goes straight back to the bench. Sat on the bench for the rest of the series, and then it wasn't until Steph Curry went out and basically, after Steph Curry went out in the playoffs, nobody knew what the hell was going on with the Warriors. There was not a single fan that thought we were going to beat the Wolves after Steph Curry went out. Because after that first quarter, Steph Curry absolutely torched the Timberwolves. For the rest of the game, we just got by, won that first game, and then we lost 4 straight. With Jimmy Butler looking relatively passive for who Jimmy Butler is as a player, and no Jonathan Kuminga. Obviously, he came on in spurts, especially after the Steph Curry injury. He played sort of minutes. He looked good. He had games where I think there was one game where he scored 20 plus or something like that. He looked relatively good. And then the off-season started. Once the off-season started, it was basically a sure thing in my mind that Jonathan Kuminga was going to find himself on another roster this coming season. Because this coming season, it was for a lot of it that he was talking about he wanted a new deal, new team. Warriors weren't offering what he wanted. The only problem with Jonathan Kuminga is he was on a restricted free agency deal. Which meant he could not leave unless the team wanted him exclusively to leave. And for whatever reason, Mike Dunleavy Jr. has kept him around. He didn't move. He stayed on the same roster. He did not get a new contract. He was basically just sitting jobless for 5 months. A player of Jonathan Kuminga's quality should not be sitting jobless for so long. Personally, I think that Jonathan is a good player. I just don't think he fits the current system of the Golden State Warriors. which sucks because I like watching him as a player. He's an exciting player. He can basically dunk over anyone in the league that he feels like doing so. He is relatively getting better as a jump shooter. He is slowly developing his jump shot and getting better as a shooter. And for that reason, I actually like him as a basketball player. But he is also one of those players where I think he would look better on a different roster. So for that reason, I'm more than happy with pushing him along. And yeah, once we push him along, he could blossom into an all-star on a better team. He deserves to do so because he is a good player. The only thing that I have against Jonathan Kuminga at times is his tunnel vision. His tunnel vision at times often gets him into trouble because he goes for that weird mid-range pull-up that he's got in his game. Sometimes he settles for a corner three where, as athletic as Jonathan Kuminga is, he could basically just get straight to the basket whenever he feels like it. For that reason, I sort of don't like his game at times, but for that reason alone, he is one of our best scorers on our current roster. Fast forward to now, basically the offseason goes by, there's a couple of deals that happen. Jonathan Kuminga, apparently the Sacramento Kings offered the Warriors Malik Monk and a first-round pick for Jonathan Kuminga in a part of a sign-and trade. The Warriors didn't bite on it. As much as I probably would have as a fan if that was offered to me, because Malik Monk over the last couple of years of his career has been a good basketball player. He's been a spark plug off the bench. He's been a positive scorer, which is one of the biggest things that the Warriors need on their current roster is a scorer, because we're incapable of doing so. And we got given that offer. And for whatever reason, we straight up declined it. You know, it was put on the table and we just moved it straight along. Wasn't to be. So we kept Jonathan around for another 2 months until finally a couple of days ago he decided to sign a deal. He signed a deal worth $48 million. Excuse the door, the wind's blowing. Okay, now my door's shut. Awesome. Yeah, Jonathan signs this deal, $48 million. It's not what he wanted. He didn't want a team option. But apparently the deal is structured so that Jonathan can be moved on next season. To be completely honest with you, I didn't even think Jonathan was going to be moved on next season. I thought Jonathan was going to get moved on in 6 months' time when it gets to January and the trade deadline's up and people are shopping for players and Jonathan will eventually find himself in another home. It wasn't the case. There was a report that came out yesterday that said that Jonathan does not want to be traded during the season. I officially have no idea what's going on. He goes from not wanting to be on the team at all, to refusing to sign a contract, to then our team also not wanting to get rid of Jonathan as a part of a trade, to him finally signing a contract which is basically structured over him getting moved. And then he comes out 2 days later and says he doesn't want to be moved during the season. How does that make any sense? It is truly one of the weirdest situations I think I've ever seen as an NBA fan. He's obviously not a superstar just yet. Obviously, he could turn into it one day. But Jonathan is not a superstar just yet. And for him not to be a superstar just yet, but to have the treatment like this, as to where he is in the team 1 minute, not in the team the next, and just all over the place, it is one of the most confusing things I've ever seen. I think if I wasn't a Warriors fan, it probably wouldn't trip me out as much and tick me off as much. It's just because I'm so attached to this team as a franchise that seeing my team in the media not get any recognition of signing new players, making moves in the offseason, and the only news that we get is about one player who wants to move on but then doesn't want to move on. The team doesn't want to move on from him. It makes no sense. Like, it makes zero sense to me at all. I can't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, it's incredible. It truly, truly is incredible. That is basically the gist of my rant. I have sat here speaking about Jonathan Kuminga for about 11 minutes now. It is off-season content at its absolute finest, but it's just something that I really wanted to talk about. Because it has been going on for the last 5 months, and it has been the entire off-season for the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, we picked up D'Anthony Melton 2 days ago, we picked up Seth Curry 2 days ago, and Gary Payton re-signed. We did those deals a couple of days ago, but outside of that, we did absolutely nothing with the off-season. It was just the Jonathan Kuminga show. So I'm glad the saga hopefully will come to an end. Obviously, I see a world where the Warriors still decide to move on from him in January, but who knows? For all we know, he could stay on the team for another 4 years. He's signed under the contract, but I don't think he's far away from being moved. And it would probably be in our best interest as a team and his best interest to just move on and forget about it and just go completely new chapter of our life. But yeah, that's basically today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Content has been incredible recently. I've been pumping out the shorts because shorts are a bit of an easier version of making content to reach out to you guys, which is amazing. Like, it just does a lot of things for me where I can reach out to new audiences, build you guys up as a community, and basically just connect on an easier level. Because shorts are only a minute. Shorts, I can sit there for a minute, 30 seconds, talk about what I want to talk about, and then basically just move on again. It's an easy way to connect with you guys. It doesn't take me very long, whereas these videos, I have to sit here for 12 minutes and talk. I love doing it. It's the best part of the job, but in terms of reaching an audience, the best way to do it is over the shorts. So you guys showing love to them is much appreciated. The community is slowly growing, and I love it. Like, it's amazing to me. So thank you guys so much. Video will come back tomorrow or the day after. I think I might be busy tomorrow, so Monday might be the go. Yeah, another video will be out then. Shorts will continue to be posted. Thank you guys so much for watching my rant. It was a bit of a random video, but if you guys like it and support it, it's amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in a few days' time. Thank you so much.